Hi guys, Curly Susie here. Welcome to another edition of 6 a.m. story time slash confessions. I thought I would get my coffee, throw some lipstick on, and take my baby and my bed head and come and talk to you guys about how my husband and I planned our luxury, Pinterest, beautiful wedding on a very tight budget. And I know that you guys can use some of the tips and tricks that I use to plan your own wedding, and leave any other questions you have in the comment section below. So I'm going to use my own wedding album to go through my top 5 ways to plan your wedding. Number 1 is make a wish list. So on this list, I wrote down my top 5 must-have things for my wedding that I did not want to compromise. Number 1 was florals. There is a local florist here. She is a true artist. I love her work, and her name is Trinity. She was at the very top of my list, and you can see why when you look at my bouquet and some of my decor. So I knew that I was willing to sacrifice funds that I would normally put towards like a decorator, and other elements of my wedding to make sure that I had a large budget for florals. And maybe florals aren't important to you, but they really were important to the look and the feel of my wedding. She also decorated my venue with greenery. Uh, and so I did not need a wedding decorator. I just had a florist and I had a rental company, which I'll talk about later. The second thing on my list was a specific photographer. Her name is Brittany McLeod, and she's from a local company called Hindheart Studios. And Brittany has the ability to not only capture some of the most artful and interesting detail shots from weddings. Um, oh my God. These are some of my bridesmaids' bouquets right here. The hoop bouquets are beautiful. But she also captured some of the most intimate moments from my wedding, some of the most touching memories that I will never ever forget, like this picture right here. This basically says it all. This picture and this picture mean more to me than anything else. And then also on our wish list was fireworks, and this is something that my husband wanted. He wanted to have fireworks at our reception. Find inspiration. So this was number 2. So I found my inspiration from 3 different places. Pinterest was a big one. And I also looked at a lot of InStyle magazines because I knew I wanted myself and my bridal party to have a very high fashion, unique kind of look for our dresses. And then I just went to the local wedding dress shop and I spoke to the owner, and she kind of worked with me to bring my vision to life. So get your family on board. This is kind of a difficult one to explain, but I think when I start to talk about it, you'll know what I'm getting at. So your family already has an idea in their mind, and your friends, of what they think your wedding should be like. I'm going to use my mother as an example, my poor mother. She's very traditional and old-fashioned, and it was very hard for her to realize and to understand why I would only want 50 people at my wedding ceremony. So we have a lot of family friends and we have a large family. And she didn't understand why I wanted small numbers and I wanted an intimate ceremony. So I just had to get her on board right off the hop. And in order to do this, I only invited our immediate family, our wedding party, and aunts and uncles, and that was it. Um, and again with the supper. So it was hard for my family to grasp the concept of only having a supper for the 22 people in our wedding party, including our parents and brothers and sisters. And I just had to let them know that there would be plenty of food and appetizers and champagne at our wedding reception for the rest of our 150 guests, and that it was common for people not to have the big 150 people sit down dinner anymore. Weddings are evolving, and the more beautiful, intimate, candlelit dinner would just appeal to me a lot more than the big sit down 150 people dinner in a hall. Now, if that is something that you want, that is fine. It's the whole point is to do exactly what you want. It's your day. All right, so here's a good one. Number 4, think of creative money savers. I nailed this. So number 1, my wedding dress. My wedding dress, which I absolutely loved and wouldn't change at all, is actually a prom dress. And what I realized when I was wedding shopping is you can get any prom dress in white. So I stuck to trying on prom dresses, and that's going to decrease your cost a lot. My venue, I chose a venue. This is a museum in my hometown. It's not a really popular wedding destination. It is an old church that was converted into a museum, and it is absolutely bare on the inside. So it's just white walls and wood, and I knew it wouldn't take a whole lot of decorating to make it look beautiful, and therefore it would cost less to decorate. My wedding cake. I made it. I love this. My cake topper I ordered off of Etsy. I'll leave a link below. It was about $19 and I made the cake. It's a carrot cake with beautiful frosting that my sister-in-law frosted. Um, my next tip is instead of renting expensive hotel rooms, we got ready in a cute little house, uh, again, close to our venues, and this was on Airbnb. This house had a giant sun porch, which made for an awesome place for me and the girls to get ready, get our makeup done, and get photos done with beautiful natural lighting in an all white room. So again, a lot of my detail pictures are amazing because of this location. Be creative and be resourceful. My cousin owns a large restaurant downtown, and instead of renting a hall for our reception, my cousin was nice enough to let us use his restaurant for our reception space, and we converted it into more of like a nightclubby kind of feel just by using uplighting. The DJ that we hired, we made sure that we hired a DJ who provided an uplighting package. Now, I was going to be really cheap and rent my own lighting and set it up, but who wants to be setting up lighting on the day of their wedding? I don't. So I just got it included in my DJ package. I saved money for the groomsmen by just picking a color scheme and letting them wear their own clothing if they desired. We just said wear light gray, we'll provide the ties. We got the ties at Moore's, like buy 3, get 3 free, and the guys looked amazing. I was really happy with their look. I also saved about $100 by not getting my baby one of those little uncomfortable baby tuxes. I just paired a sweater that he already had with a dress shirt he already had, and then someone lent me a bow tie that matched my bridesmaids' dresses, and I bought him a pair of pants at Carter's. For my dinner, I asked my brother, who's a carpenter, to make me 3 large harvest tables instead of renting tables, which were $100 each to rent, and that doubled as my wedding gift. So number 5 is always reevaluate your plan. I added a lot of things to my wedding in the final planning stages. One of those things was that instead of using, let's say, plastic chairs with nice chair covers on them, I enlisted the help of a local rental company. They're called Beechwood and Birch, and they provided me with these beautiful wooden chairs at a really good price. They have a great website. I'm going to link it below. So they provided me with these chairs and also a lot of the nice dinnerware that you see on my tables for my dinner. And a ton of other items. I can't list them all, but I'm going to leave a link to their website. And they also set everything up and tore everything down for me, which was really affordable. More affordable than hiring a wedding decorator. And then another thing that I reevaluated is I had on my list that I wanted to have a wedding video. This was going to be about $1,000 to $3,500, and in the end I decided not to get a wedding videographer, to save the money and use that towards other things, like hiring one of the best makeup artists locally, and also hiring professional hairdressers from her salon to come in and do our hair and makeup, and it was amazing. What else was I going to say? I think I'm getting ready to wrap this up, but you're kind of catching the drift. I really just wanted everything to be super unique, super beautiful, classy. I want it to be very Pinterest, and I know that might sound tacky to say, but that is kind of when I closed my eyes and I pictured my wedding, that's exactly what I want it to be like. And my husband was extremely happy with it. He is a very like well dressed, kind of hip to the trends kind of guy. And he just said, Susie, I just want our wedding to seem upscale. I want it to be modern. And I don't want it to have all of those kind of cliche things like throwing the bouquet and, you know, cutting the cake and putting icing on each other's noses and clinking the glasses. He said, I just want it to be simple and classic and very romantic and us, and that's what we got. So as you guys can probably tell, I absolutely loved my wedding, and like I said in the video, there isn't much that I would change at all, and I loved the wedding planning process. So if you guys have any comments or questions for me about wedding planning or ideas for how to save money in certain areas, please leave it in the comment section below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.